Hello viewers, welcome to our show. Today's topic is a father's role in parenting. With me in the studio are two great parents that I know of, people that are very special to me, people that I know that are doing their best to become better parents in this parenting journey. I'll let them introduce themselves and then we will take it over from there. To my right.
My name is Stephen Mugisha. I'm a husband, a father, and a Rwandan. I'm glad to be here in the studio tonight to share my experience in this journey of parenting.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Alice Bamsime. I am a daughter, I am a wife, I'm a mother of 3, ages 13, 11 and 5. I have 2 sons and 1 daughter.
Usually when we talk about parenting, it goes back to mothers. When you talk about children, it comes back to mothers. And sometimes we have wondered, do fathers actually have a role to play in parenting? So that is why we are here tonight. And to my left, I want to ask Alice, as a daughter, of course not as a mother, she's a daughter, she has had a dad, and at one time, I had her say her father was the best. Alice, would you please tell us, do you think a father has a role in parenting? Or do you think we are mixing them into other things, but they have other greater things they should be doing? What do you think?
That's a good question. Fathers have a huge role to play, absolutely a big one. I would say they actually, if I do percentages, I would give them 60%.
Wow.
Yes. And I'll be specific which areas they are really needed. And I'll say maybe he makes like 70% of who I am.
Oh.
Yes. Because I'll be like honest and tell you right from when I was young, my dad, when he narrates stories of how I grew up, he was right there. When he talks of taking me for immunization, he was there. He talks of a time when they went. He talks of a time how he would like accompany my mom to take me to hospital for immunization or when I was sick. So he was involved in that. That's one step. Another step of, okay, it's now time for her to go to school. My dad played a great role. Despite the fact that he was a teacher at the beginning.
I was actually going to ask, is your father a university professor?
No,
you know?
He was just a primary teacher.
Wow.
He had like done some short course on teaching the grade 2 thing.
Yeah.
For long ago, people who understand it know. And he was a teacher. So he taught until I was near grade 3 primary. And he quit for his reasons that he also told me. And he was like, okay, with this kind of
like
salary,
he prepared you before he could quit?
No, he quit and we were actually not happy about it. But as we grew up, he kind of took us through why he had to drop
He explained why he wasn't teaching anymore.
Actually, that talks about him throughout. He did not do anything without our consent.
Wow.
Even when we were small, very young girls and boys, he would call you, sit here, we are going to do this. We are going to sell this cow. I'll talk about cows because I'm from a pastoralist background. And he would tell you, we are going to do this for purposes of this. And you would be like, okay. You would agree or you would refuse. Or I remember my brother kind of saying,
would he give you room to say no? Or if he said,
He
we're
would
selling
give
cow
you-
eggs,
at
it is
some
cow
point-
eggs.
When we were still young, he would kind of give you for info. But as we grew up, we had reasons to say, I think that's not the correct thing.
Like you'd sit on the table and
Yes,
discuss.
we would agree. I don't think we had tables by then. We've just had tables of recent, but we would sit where we sat and we would agree on what to do.
Sure.
And he would involve us. I'll also say the fathers that we want to see, or the kind of father that I had, is this kind of man who used to make me I realize the importance of my mom, the importance of people around us, how we need to relate with them.
So he never felt like, after all, I'm doing so much and I'm the father and I'm the one that...
And he gave you all the reasons to respect people because we had an extended family. And he would spank you if it was needed. So today I would think those are kinds of things that are done by moms. But I think he did it.
Wow. Wow.
He's this kind of person. Of course, there are things he wouldn't go, like didn't teach me how to wash a milk pot. My mom did, but he made sure that he emphasized so that you don't even...
The importance of you learning that.
He emphasized that you need to learn that, you need to learn other things. He never at a time said girls should do this and boys should do this. That was my mom's role. But my dad made sure that you know things in the house, how to do work in the house. And he would say, you can do that work in the house and do also work outside.
But that was your father?
Yes. Work outside meant even cows. I personally would hold a bull, a huge one, for him to be able to inject it.
Wow.
Why? Because he said, there is nothing a boy can do that you can't do.
Wow.
So I grew up wanting to prove that at all.
So you had that message from your dad?
Yes.
No wonder you're a
He
gender
is the one who
activist.
said. He is the one who said, actually, I want to say that he kind of molded and mentored a gender expert long ago without him knowing that I would do such a course and pursue that career. So he's surprised today that the things that I tell him, he says, Okabishoma, but you also practice them.
Wow.
You practiced it even before. Even when I had, because of him, he used to say, boys and girls can do the same things. I remember my dad, he once
Do you know
told
what
me,
year that could have been? Like, sometimes we think these are foreign things, these are new things, so...
Actually, with this kind of journey and this kind of story I'm narrating, it like tracks way back since 1990.
Wow.
Yes, 1990. And he told me, you can do everything a boy can do. I remember when I had just finished my O-level education, I was on vacation, on holiday. We used to call it vac. And he said, you see those boys? He was telling me boys from our neighbors, those from our side and others that he knew, who even went to different schools than I did. And he would say, go mingle with them. As in, for me, the trend was different from what I've heard from parents in the past and today. The kinds of people who give daughters, you are supposed to come at home at 7. And they tell the boy, you can come at any time. No. For me, my dad told me, you can mingle with those boys, get the best out of them, and leave the worst for them. So I would ask them for notes, because my dad had given me liberty to socialize with them. And I would come and even report, Daddy, this one gave me some notes. Okay, sit and read them. When we finished year 6 primary, grade 6, he would take us for tailoring. I was the first one to go and benefit. So I know how to tailor very well. He was saying, he never wanted us to be dependent on husbands in the future. And I don't remember him preparing me to be a wife. He prepared me to be independent, to be the kind of a self-reliant person who knows what they want and who can pursue good things and live a life they want to live. Wow. So he used to tell me, Imuka, in the morning, go and learn. I don't know what tomorrow holds. Oh. He would say that. And one thing he used to say, right from when I was in year 4, primary, grade 4, he said, you will go to study. You will go until Makerere University. I trust you. So I learned 3 things from my dad. Affection, affirmation, and appreciation. He used to make sure those things, it is today that I sit back and kind of try to classify them. He would say, you were able to go to Makerere. I know. You were able to get a certificate, a good results. You were able to get good grades. Concentrate. You have all it takes. You would be like, okay. So it's not only boys who go to good schools. It's not only boys who go to university. Even girls can go.
And it's not because of someone else or anyone. I can also... Wow.
Absolutely. And I just want to tell you that in my village, I was the first person to get a degree.
You were the first?
The first one. I remember I used to go to boarding and people would come back home.
And do you think it's because of your father's role in your life?
It's because of my father. It's because of my father. Because even people who are like our neighbors in our area, they had the same cows like he had.
But maybe they never valued...
They never valued the girls. I'll give you one example. One of his cousins came home And my dad said, I have failed to find any other cow to sell for Bamsime's school fees. That's me.
Sure.
And he said, I'm going to sell this bull. And you know what a bull means in a pastoralist kind of setting. Engundu. So this cousin of his asked him, are you sure you're going to waza kuguza engundu? Bamsime ngwaza ishomero. My dad said, yes. I was hearing them. I kind of wanted to pretend I wasn't listening. And he said, so I was hearing. So all my life, actually thank God for that cousin, my dad's cousin, my uncle. I lived to say, I will never bring that to my father.
Wow.
So he sold it and he said, my daughter, I can sell whatever I have. He even said, I can make my trousers punch.
Oh, but to have you go through
But to have my
school
daughters go to school and my children.
graduate.
Yes, actually, now being a firstborn, I was the first person. Others just followed in. But I was the person who were like groundbreaking.
Right. Thank you so much, Alice. I told you that these are very special people. It is not the first time you're going to see them. They'll keep coming back on this show, so you'll have more of them. So, Mr. Mugisha, we just heard from a father that was of the 1900s. And now we want to know today, do you think a father still has the similar roles, or do you think there's something that has changed? As a father of this generation, what would you have to say?
Well, thank you so much. I think despite the dynamics of the world, the father's role shouldn't change. Because even given the testimony of Alice in 1990s, you know, even in our setting, umugabo n'umutware w'urugo, meaning that the father is the head of the family. I don't think that one is going to change. Even from spiritual perspective, the father, the husband, is the chief priest of the home. Even there are some biblical scholars who believe that the reason why the snake tempted Eve is because Adam was not there. If Adam was there, some biblical scholars believe the snake would not have tempted Eve. So that emphasizes the role of the father. So anyway, now given the reality of modern life, some fathers working from far and all that, yes, that reality is there. But now to begin with, how often is the father's role in parenting in their homes emphasized? Who prepares, for example, young couples,
for fatherhood?
Yes, young boys for fatherhood. So those are some of the things.
Mr. Mugisha, no one has prepared mothers for motherhood, have they?
Well, I think it is possible, but to me, that myth that you know,
when it comes
the father
to
is supposed to go and work, and as long as there is food at home, as long as there is shelter, then the father's
paid school fees.
Exactly. Then the father's role is covered. To me, I think that's not true. We need to calm down and know that, actually, even drawing from Alice's experience, that the physical presence, you know, from what she was saying, she emphasized about the connection, about my dad used to tell us. She didn't emphasize so much on in terms of property or in terms of wealth, what they had.
Absolutely.
So now, the society has misled the fathers that in order to be a successful father is because when you have a lot. To me, I think we need to go back to the drawing board to know that the physical presence of fathers in the children, in the home, is paramount.
And maybe on that question, Mr. Mugisha, please tell us, if the father is at home, what should he be doing? What are his roles at home today, in today's society as a father?
For me, maybe my experience is that as a father, you need to bond with children. You need to play with your children.
Yes.
You need to study. And you know, what you think that is small to you as a father, to the child, it's very, very big. Okay? So it is okay to go and play with your son, your daughter, and run around in the compound, play football, and you know. So, by the way, even from the science, it say the bonding with the children is through action. It's not through instruction. No. It has to be that physical. So, when you ask me what should the father do, precisely what a mother does. Work with the children, pray with them, you know, really with them.
So through play, the fathers could pass on their values, their beliefs, chirazira, you know, as they keep around the home. So the father can do this as well.
Yes, precisely. What has happened is that it will go back to the setting of our society, where we feel fathers should hunt, and then the mothers should prepare homes.
Keep at home.
So that's why, but in reality, we lose it. Because you could hunt and you have everything, but when you lose your children.
Wow, we are learning, and I think it is really interesting and exciting. But now the question I'm saying, like you're saying, today things have changed. And if we're looking at parenting at the home setting, one issue we have is that parents, male parents or fathers are not in the home the way Mr. Mugisha is telling us that we should have them playing, we should have them bonding. They should be at home, you know, passing on the values, but from the homely environment. Alice, what did it mean to have a father at home? Because today we actually have more of fathers that are absent, fathers that are not there. What did it mean to you as a daughter?
Thank you, Winnie. My father's presence was really meant a lot. But I want to be clear on this.
Please.
It is not that my dad was at home from 7 to 7.
Exactly.
No. The whole thing that matters here, what I now reflect from my dad is quality time. What is it that you're planning to do with your children? I will give you an example. My dad used to go graze cows. He was not at home the whole day. But whenever he came, he would come, get home. He milks his cows with you guys, participating definitely.
Yeah.
And when he's done, you go in the house. Somebody who is in charge of cooking that day goes to the kitchen. That person is not on the roster of the people that he's supposed to teach. My dad would come, teach you. He would concentrate more on people who are in candidate classes. But he would make sure he reviews like homework for everybody. So quality time matters. He would even say, okay, today is so-and-so's turn. He does 30 minutes with me, he does 30 minutes with my sister, and the other day does 30 minutes with my brother and 30 minutes with my cousin. So it's about quality time.
Wow.
And before he goes to graze cows, for example,
in
he
the
would
morning,
do things with you.
So material is part of it. Provision is part of it. It is maybe a certain percentage. But there is a lot more that a father can do when they're at home.
Absolutely.
And one thing we have heard from is that they can even set examples about how things are done at the home setting or the home environment.
Yeah, maybe to add on that.
Sure, go on.
One thing that I like, given the fact that I'm branding with my career, my father, and the present that I see with my eyes, is he didn't. I would rather think maybe that time he would say, take to your mother to show you how to wash a jerrycan, how to pump.
But he never did that.
No,
yeah.
But he said, bring and I show you. So he would get the jerrycan and show you how it is
This is how it's washed.
Yes. So I want to think he also knew that his role is paramount. It's not about your mom. She also can do other things.
Wow. Thank you so much, Alice. So fathers are example setters like we have had. And if you are at home and you're a father, you're not doing a wrong thing, because we are seeing from Alice that actually she learned a lot from the father even when she was a daughter. Stephen, what do you think is the challenge of having an absent father today?
Yeah, definitely. If we said the father is the chief priest of the home, yeah, it means now we have misguided children. Basically, primarily, that's that. So, and I think that's why we are having a lot of challenges among the youth today. That's the result of absent fathers. So, because you remember, these children want advice. They don't know what the world holds.
Yeah.
So, even then, even when you talk, you guide the children who are growing up, it's energy. It takes a lot of energy. So you can imagine if the father is not there to work hand in hand with the mother, or maybe in case when both parents are not there, what happens with the children? So definitely we are having children who lack morals, who lack campus direction
They have
life,
lost values.
who do not have values.
Yeah.
You know, that's that. So it's not about, to me, what I would think is the society should come back to look at parenting as a partnership, as a lifestyle, so that the fathers know they have to divide their time between work. Otherwise, we are going to work and achieve a lot, but we lose what's important. We lose our children. That's exactly. And I think it's not about even given this. Let's take a case scenario when the father is working from far.
Yeah.
Maybe the family is in Kigali, the father is working from Nyagatare. You see, that is possible. But what's important is, for example, can you hold the phone and talk to your daughter, talk to your son?
Get updates on what is taking place in their lives, get to know what is happening.
Yes.
Did you bring homework? Did you know to bring homework?
That means a lot, you see. So that's why I'm thinking there is a lot that we need to know or to learn so that fathers know that actually their foundation, their backbone in the process of parenting. All right? So,
They're very
even
important.
when you are far, you can still parent. That's what I believe. But I think now what is lacking is this understanding that the fathers are critical in the process of parenting. So maybe
What can we do?
that's what we need the people in authorities, the society to open up, not to pretend, to know that
Face it head on.
parenting is a partnership. Parenting is our business as fathers, as mothers. So it's not, the involvement of one does not exclude the other.
Oh,
It's a partnership. So unfortunately, it is something that is less talked about.
and it's very important.
It's very, very important, but it is less talked about. Every other family is doing it their own way. Those who have successes, they do it.
And not
Those who
sharing.
have failures, they also keep quiet on them. You know, something like that. So I think it is the time society should realize that parenting is a shared responsibility. It is what makes the society. It should be given its central role in our society, so that people talk about it. You know, so the myth of I know how to do it and this one, you know, that's why we are having all these issues of children who are misguided, and you have had drugs, you have had all those issues among the teenagers. It's because society is not talking about this, so that we share success stories, we share challenges, then we get the best practices.
True.
As a society. Minus that,
we are yet to face more challenges.
yes.
And when we have challenges with our children, then we're having challenges with the community. So, thank you so much. That was really nice. I think my take is that parenting is intentional. Fathering, if that word ever exists, is intentional. You have to make it intentional. It doesn't matter whether you're home or away. You have to make it intentional and know that it is your role. So, as we close our session today, what would be your message to the community out there? As a daughter who is parented, who is an empowered woman today, who is doing really great, what would be your message today to the viewers?
Yeah, so my message is clear, and I'll just give them, it's live, it's a very live example. If you as a father manifest in the lives of your children, you are actually planning for your security. It is kind of your security in the future when you're old.
Wow.
If your children can sit back and say, my father has played a huge role in my life, you will age gracefully.
Wow.
Today, I don't want to boast, but I know my father is so proud.
Sure he is.
When I earn, I know I'm thinking about my father. I have heard of other people my age who don't think about their father, and they are living. Why? Because they never showed up in their life.
Oh.
Yes. So my father today enjoys the fruits of his investment, of his
What
time.
if your father is watching you right now? What message would you tell him
He
now?
would not be surprised because he knows he has walked with me throughout this journey.
And what message would you give him now?
Dad, I love you. The other message for the fathers today, I know some women actually have decided to pull up their efforts and do everything they can for the children. But please be present. Come up and do something with them. I see it. People go to school for meetings. You see so many moms. What
We don't
about
see
the
so many
fathers?
fathers when it comes to
Yes.
parents' meetings.
Make sure, even if it is a permission that you need to ask, you can ask for it. You can say, I need to attend my children's school.
Sure.
And fathers should know, this old saying of, it is no longer trendy. You have to play a role.
Thank you, Alice. You have to play a role. And I think one day your children will be here and I'll be interviewing them. What will they say?
Yes.
Stephen, over to you. What is your message to the fathers out here? Maybe some are your age mates, maybe some are older, maybe some are younger, and maybe some are not yet fathers, but they're probably looking at you and admiring you the way I do. They're saying, we want to be a father like him. What is your message?
My message is that, not every man who has produced children is a father. So fathering is involvement with the children.
Wow.
I will give a crude science wording that I got from a book that I read. It is called Fathers and Sons. The author says that today's father should differentiate between being a sperm donor and being a father.
Oh.
So meaning that some men are sperm donors, but they are not fathers. So in other words, if you are not involved in parenting, you become a sperm donor. You produce a kid, it's there. But fathering is involvement.
You're there in your
You are
child's
there,
life at
you are
every
involved
development.
in school, in homework. You play with your children. You feel them, they feel you.
Oh.
So the excuse of
Being busy.
people should rethink. All right?
Either do it or you don't.
Exactly. the age for parents to bond with their children is between 0 and 10. Actually, I was reading a book by Mas Munio called Kingdom Parenting. For him, he says it is between 0 and 7.
Oh.
So it means if you don't get involved, you're not going to connect with your children.
And they're not going to stop growing and wait for
Yes,
you.
exactly. So now, the unfortunate part with parents, especially fathers, when they miss that, they want to connect with their children when they are teenagers, when they are adolescents.
And
it's not
late.
possible.
Oh.
It's not possible. If you don't bond with your children when they are still small, probably between 0 and 10, let us put it maximum, you will not connect with your children. And it is more frustrating on you. So the message is that please, fathers, get involved in the journey of parenting, be there to bond with your children, minimize. What's important is your family. What's important is your children. So balance between work, but be there for the children. They need you. Rest, you will miss them.
So thank you so much, viewers. Thank you for today. We will keep inviting these ladies and gentlemen and many more we're going to learn. And please remember to subscribe to our channel, to like, to share. And my message to the fathers out there is that a father is Christ-like. Even in our Lord's Prayer, it starts, our Father in heaven. Take up your role and be Christ-like. Thank you, viewers, once again. See you next time. God bless you.